Risky behavior.
The views and opinions expressed on this channel are solely those of the host and guest and are intended for entertainment and discussion purposes only. This channel does not promote bias, hatred, or discrimination of any kind. All questions posed and thoughts shared are part of a critical thinking exercise and are not meant to offend or judge any individual or group. We encourage respectful dialogue and love for all. Please remember to think critically and engage thoughtfully. We aim to foster a positive and inclusive community where everyone feels welcome. Thank you for being a part of Risky Behavior ENT.
Risky behavior.
I mean, she might do she got kids?
No, she ain't got no
Okay,
kids.
I was about to say her baby daddy might be crazy, bro. That nigga might be on the hunt for some
All
shit. She ain't trying to get
right,
seen with no nigga.
all right, y'all ready? Shout out Murder House. Shout out to
Watching a
Murder, Pretty
movie.
Kelly, T, Sherlock, Chris, and Philly. We saying too many terminations. Now you a serial killer. So I want to read off what determines a serial killer. Now, a serial killer is typically defined by specific criteria that distinguish them from other types of murderers. Here are the key factors. Number one is multiple victims. A serial killer usually commits multiple murders, often 3 or more over a period of time.
So you
That
whoa,
applies.
whoa, whoa. That last sentence over there. Say that again.
A serial killer usually commits multiple murders, often 3 or more over a period of time.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
number
That's
no,
true.
so talk about women terminating pregnancies. So that fits. Number two, cooling off periods. There are intervals between the murders ranging from days to years, which differentiate them from spree or mass killers. We know they got to take time to heal up before they find their next victim. So that applies too. Psychological gratification. The killings are often motivated by psychological gratification rather than financial gain or revenge. This may include elements of power, control, or sexual compulsion. Ha! Hmm. I think my
Damn.
point's being made. Mr. Mr. T said he was gonna play devil's advocate. I don't know how. It's lining up. Number four, modus operandi and signature. Serial killers often have a specific modus operandi method of killing, okay, and may leave a signature, a unique element that fulfills their psychological needs. Well, they kill them the same way, and what they leave is their body at the doctor's office. So I win again. Number five, victim selection. They may
Bro.
target specific
What
types of
the
victims. Ooh, who's the specific
Babies.
victim? Okay, often based on age, gender, or other characteristics. I win again. Number six, lack of connection to victims. Oh shit. Typically, there's little to no prior relationship with the victims. Holla at your boy. I win
Yep.
again. Number seven, compulsion. There's often a compulsive element where the killer feels driven to continue killing. Oh, okay. I win, hands down.
I agree.
All right, T, you up. You said devil's advocate. I don't know why you picked this side of the argument, but that was on you.
Nah, I picked the side of the argument that was with it. My fault. Because I was literally saying how I'm gonna be as soon as a woman come in and be like, yeah, she got an abortion, but I'm like, also you're a murderer. I'm on ass immediately off the back.
I'm not a murderer, but don't fuck around, find out.
You're not a killer, but don't push it.
Yeah. Make what Pac said, but don't fuck
When
around, find
when
out.
Philly heard that last sentence, it sounded like he came to a
Like I'm
realization.
like,
Yeah.
look, man, I don't wanna kill you, but I will. I
Nah,
don't want to.
some of your homies are serial killers. It sound like that's what you found out, man.
No, man. I'm
Hey, listen,
capable.
I know one of my homies is a serial killer. He locked up for it right now. That nigga just love to kill. He wasn't getting paid for that shit. He just
The
wanted to kill niggas because he
motherfuckers,
felt
you
like it.
like to kill motherfuckers. Like you got that good friend of yours, or some friend of yours.
Hey, that nigga's in jail.
Yeah,
That wasn't me.
man,
So
I wasn't out here killing people for nothing.
or dead,
is a woman who has
Nah, he
multiple
locked up.
abortions just as
or
cold as a
dead,
killer in the military?
or still out here.
He said a woman to do
Is
work,
a
kill him.
woman who's had multiple abortions just as cold as a man in the military who's killed multiple people?
Yes, I think so.
That man in the military that's working for that woman, he love that woman, and she's like, I'm gonna take his money because I ain't about shit anyway. I'm just gonna be like, marry
What the
this
hell are you
man.
talking about, Philip?
What did you have before you married that man? And then you worry about like the Ray Caruth thing.
That's a
Like,
forced
what the
abortion.
fuck? Man, you fuck up somebody's life. What do you think that man is capable of doing? Because the court system said it was going to be that way.
Exactly.
He's going
People
to
should
take
be
it a
able to
whole
just
nother
kill.
way. You don't know what that man capable of. You
I
keep
see what you're
fucking up
saying,
a
Philly.
man's life. You keep fucking up a man's life. You don't know what's capable of happening.
So you're a serial killer.
What's the point of getting rich? What's the point of getting rich? Like, all right, I'm gonna get rich, right? And then get married. I ain't getting married, and I don't want to have no kids. Like, what's the point of getting married through the court system where you could just take mine? How about I just give it to you? Here, get the fuck out my face. But no, you want more than that. The court system is gonna let me take more than that. So you have to understand when men come, like what they go through. If they want your ass dead or not. That's the
So it's okay
serial.
to
I'm so
it's okay to kill a
confused.
woman, is what you're saying.
This shit is.
Hey, do y'all really think it's true? Like when women say men want to take away women's right to an abortion, but like I don't be believing that because I be seeing a lot of niggas begging women to get abortions. They don't want.
A serial killer gonna be in that courtroom. He keep fucking around. A serial killer gonna be in that courtroom because he got fucked for everything.
But wait, this is what's wrong with
What was the
society.
point of me getting married?
Okay, we hear you. We hear you. This is
I'm
this is
not
the problem
going
that's
to do it.
confusing with society. Again, why aren't women who go for multiple abortions being charged with fucking being serial killers? Because that's literally what it is. Why don't
Look,
we
Hmm.
recognize that as that?
if the man want to take care of their children, I'm like, all right,
Oh, Philly's just talking. He's
he's
in. He
gonna
think he
take
in
care
another
of the
room.
child. Like, look. Fuck child support. If I'm capable of taking care of the child, now it's marriage. Oh, alimony. You've been throwing that in a man's face. Alimony. No, you know what? See, how about I don't get married? So you can't throw that in my face anymore.
What are you
Like when
talking
you get
about,
rich,
Philly?
man,
Yo,
you
what's
gotta
up,
like
the
try to
juice?
grab your kids out of that
Philly,
for
Yo,
real.
Philly. Yo, Philly. Are
Philly,
you
What?
what you
married?
talking about, Philly?
Man, fuck that bitch.
Are you
Nigga,
oh,
Fuck
oh.
the court
So what's
system.
the
I
well-being
don't
of your
give
wife
a
at this very
fuck.
moment?
Well, I'm a serial killer. I don't give a fuck what you want to call it. Listen,
Yeah, I think I kind
no,
of
if
figured that
Philly,
out
you
now.
if you if
not
you
you.
throw a
Just
man's back up against the wall, like, all right, you gonna suck him dry, take all his fucking money, and he gotta work for the rest of his life, but you don't know no more. Like, I built
yo,
this shit, and
yo,
now you don't gotta
Philly,
work,
we
but I
saying a
do,
woman.
bitch.
Philly, we
Get the fuck out of here.
Philly, we.
I don't
I
give
see
a
what
fuck if we
Philly's
come
saying
up
now.
missing.
We saying that the women who get abortions are the serial killers, not you killing the bitch for trying to take your
All
money.
right, all right, all right. Well, she. Listen, you should fucking um
You
talk
should kill
with
her.
the man that has sex with you unprotectedly. You should like have a talk with him. Like, do you feel as though we should have this kid? If the man say he don't want to have the kid, and you was like, I'm gonna have it anyway, he's a deadbeat. But you agreed having sex unprotectedly. Come on, man.
So basically, I should kill her. Is what you're saying.
No, don't kill the bitch. Like, no. God damn.
Why not? Why
Can't
would
do
I?
that.
Why would I? Who said I can't? Who's gonna stop?
Don't kill her. It's like, she should know. But the law, like the government is gonna teach her for it to go her way anyway. And that's what's gonna make you the serial killer because they're gonna text the shit out your ass.
Why would I let them do that when I could just kill her?
They're gonna fuck your whole world up. Maybe it's too late.
It won't. It's never too late to kill somebody. They still alive, ain't
Yeah.
they?
I don't know. This shit is tweaky right here. Y'all niggas, man.
Yeah.
Y'all
But
crazy.
you know
I
what,
thought I
Kelly?
was
To
fucked up.
Oh, hold on, Philly, real quick. Kelly, to your point, the reason that they wouldn't consider them serial killers is, have you ever really listened to a pro-life, pro-choice debate? The way they talk about the child is like the child isn't a human. And I'm sorry, as a black person, it sounds vaguely familiar to what they used to say about black people in the United States of America. And so they just don't consider it to be a human. They be like, oh, it's a clump of cells. Well, no, I mean, it's a human. You don't have another species in your body, or they'll be like, it's a parasite. Well, the for something to be a parasite, it has to be a totally different species than you and actively harming the host. And so and that's why they wouldn't consider it serial killer. They're very careful with their words. They will never talk about it as a human baby. They'll the close they'll go is zygote, fetus, but they won't say human.
Hmm. In the
Yeah.
court system,
Diabolical. I got a
it's
question.
going to be like, hey, what?
If these
The
people view us as
laws are
Fuck is
the
animals, right?
laws.
agoraphobic.
I don't know.
The laws are the
If these
laws,
people view us as
man.
animals, right? Animals kill animals all the time in the wild, do they not? So
Man,
if I'm viewed as an animal and I kill somebody, why is that bad? I'm just an animal doing what an animal do, right?
I'm
Uh
talking
oh.
about the fucking court system when it goes with men and women, and you're over here talking about animals.
Bro,
I
that a
could have
dog.
shot that.
Have you ever seen a dog get arrested for killing another
I
dog?
don't give a fuck
Nope.
if I was in a cabin and there's
I
bears around. If I got a
I
gun, I'm putting you down. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
the fuck?
I ain't
You
never
run
seen a
a
dog
you like
abort its
boom, boom,
baby.
boom, 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 boom. Now you a coat. I'm gonna wear you as a fucking jacket.
See, that sounds like some Ed Gein shit.
Nigga, you a fucking
Yo,
coat
what's up,
now.
Connie?
I'm gonna skin your ass.
All right, hold on, Philly. I think Connie might come up.
Yeah, she's out.
Hey, Connie, how you doing?
Good eating my popcorn with some nacho cheese powder
That
on it.
sounds good.
That sounds
Love it.
amazing.
Yeah. So the, this is a touchy subject. I will admit, but we're talking about abortion. So I was wondering how many of them before you're considered a serial killer. But I don't know how your views
Well,
on whether you're
I ain't gonna
considered a
call it
murderer.
that, but um, for the, when you look at square foot per mile, and you look at percentage per race, um, it's a smaller percentage of population. But if you only have 10 black women and then all 10 of them have like abortions, then that's like 100%. But because there are more people that say they're white. They definitely have more abortions. They're definitely using more public assistance, and we saw that um, across the board when they were turning down applications, to black people and giving it to, giving resources out to, illegal immigrants. And so they're always going to make the numbers look really high for black people. But when you look at the percentage of the population, it's pretty high. Now, I went and looked at some videos when I was in the Marine Corps and decided to stay home with my child. I wasn't doing that.
Well, I
I'm
don't think
like
we so
Plan
much
B,
focused on
Plan
race.
B pills, condoms, birth control. Like you got all kinds of stuff.
And the
Like
and the
birth
other
control,
and the
Plan
other
B pills,
communities are not.
condoms.
Well, we just
Oh,
talking about
let's talk
how many
about it.
abortions before somebody a serial killer.
Yeah, Plan B is a abortion too, Kelly. You know, when they did the
But
research on it,
you
it
could
actually
okay,
produces an
you can have
abortion.
sex, right? For the weekend. Like you take a girl out. Well, if you take somebody out like that you really like, and you be like, look, I don't want to have kids. She agree with you. I don't want to have kids either. But you really love each other. And you're like, all right, well, we trust each other. And I'm gonna get this. I got this Plan B pill right here. We could fuck for the whole weekend. We could fuck for 32 hours. And then you take it after that.
She's a
That's
murderer.
safe, right? That's
Yeah,
Yeah,
safe.
she's a murderer.
that ain't safe. The pill has
How am
effects on a
I
woman's body.
read it? Like you could fuck
I'm not gonna lie, Philly,
and
pulling a
2 hours
pulling a raw
later.
pulling a raw Plan B
Like
out your pocket is
if I
crazy
fuck
work.
on a Friday night and we over there having fun, and I really love this girl. This is the girl I really love. I love her. She loved me. But we don't. We both at our we at an understanding. We don't we don't want kids. So
So don't
that
have
should
sex
burn
without a
off
condom.
like Monday morning. Take that pill Monday. We could fuck all weekend. We could fuck all weekend, and you take the pill on Monday.
All right. Hold on, Philly, real quick. Hold on. Connie, I don't think we was necessarily saying it's about color, but I guess we're saying
I'm
for those
saying
that
that
for
for the percentage of black women, it could it it could be considered serial killing, but not all of them have more than one, and some do have more than one. See, when you go in there, you're messing up stuff, so you don't really have anything really to pluck, and then a lot of times a baby can't grow there because they're missing spots and cells to connect to. So, like I said, I looked at it was what was it called, Angel something, but I looked at a video and then I was like, it's not for me. Plus, I'm squeamish. I've always been the terrible patient. I don't do follow ups. I give them a hard time for just the smallest little needle. Been like that since I was 5 years old, running around the doctor's office. They had to take the thigh of the finger.
You have to understand, a lot of women eat like not the proper foods, like some nasty ass shit that they shouldn't be putting in their bodies. A lot of men do the same thing,
Well, my
and
sister
they don't make
wasn't
it
like
right.
that. I did temporary work in DC, and a lot of women do not cook their men lunch. A lot of women don't make enough food to take to work for lunch. And my sister
Mm.
always did that for her husband. And me temping, I got to see a lot of
No,
different
you don't. You don't
scenarios.
cook. You don't cook your man's lunch because it's going to have to sit right. Is
No,
what you think.
he had an office job, cushy office job, refrigerator, break room, and all that.
Right, I got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
no,
if I want
so
you to
that
cook me something,
yes,
I
you do
could.
cook. You do cook your husband's
It's
lunch.
in the
You do what your
refrigerator,
husband
going right back
wants.
in there.
Yeah, you do what your husband wants because that's what he wanted. Okay, so his stuff was kept room temperature.
Okay.
So what I've been able to gather from this conversation is that Philly is OJ Simpson, and Connie believes that, you know,
I
people are murderers.
am not
I get it.
O.J. Simpson because speaking of that, back in 1995, I was 20 years old and I had a dishwashing job. I swear to God, I'd never forget it. I was a kid. I had a dishwashing job, right? And I worked at a decent ass restaurant, like a full. That's how I learned how to like work at the 4 or 5 star restaurants. 'Cause I started off as a dishwasher. That's how I learned how to become a chef.
I get it. That's how you
Now
learn how
I'm
to
doing
clean your
something
hands
else.
with the
But
blood.
but listen. This was in '95 when OJ. I was a like I said before a dishwasher. When OJ trial was in the building, man, I was like, oh god damn it. They had the little stand up fucking sky bar and shit. White like I was the only black guy over there. And they had the TVs and shit. And this was in '95. They had the TVs up and they had the trial OJ Simpson, not guilty. I said, yes. And this was in 1995. Some white people turned around and looked at me like they wanted to kill me.
I get
I
it,
mean, I
but you
think they
know what?
realized in
The
that moment that
boss,
you were a serial
like
killer
the
as well.
boss was like, don't you got something to do? And I looked
I
and
didn't know
laughed
what it
at it.
meant because I didn't go to school
I looked
for
and laughed
law,
at it.
but I was excited because I felt it was just a feather in a cap and it
Man,
was much
I
work to do.
looked
I think
and
because I was
laughed
so
at that.
young.
But wait, y'all not understanding, right? If you got Captain America and Wolverine comes along, you're gonna need Deadpool to solve the situation, right? You gotta really think about the shit in life that matters, and you can't go chasing waterfalls because then where's the rainbow, right?
I'm not
Exactly.
Right.
scared. Like, I'm gonna have to deal with the consequences. It's right and wrong.
Philly, really think about this, man. I could teach my fish
Man,
to cut the grass, but I
man,
can't
you
teach
gotta
my
think
dog to
about right
drink.
and wrong.
Now let's
I,
see cook. Let's see
I'm
cook.
tired of
Listen,
people.
listen, bro. Listen, bro. I can teach my fish to cut the grass, but I can't teach my refrigerator to walk. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
you gotta understand it, bro.
Man,
Like these
you
things come with different
need
things,
to
man.
teach yourself what to do in life.
What you mean?
Well,
I'm
fuck
doing everything
that.
in life.
Like, I'm not gonna argue with you about it.
We not arguing, bro.
We're
We twins,
talking
bro.
about
You
like,
killed your wife, I killed my wife, nigga. We good. I
man,
don't see the problem.
no. OJ didn't kill his wife.
Yes, he did.
He
So did
didn't
me and
do that
you.
shit.
You
The
killed your wife, I
gloves
killed my
didn't
wife.
match.
OJ killed his wife. What's the problem?
The
Some
gloves
people who
didn't
knew
match.
her said
Look
she was a
good.
hoe and got into a lot
Listen,
of
listen,
shit.
listen. She was cheating on him from the beginning. She didn't want no parts of that man. She was using him for the money. He
Okay,
Philly,
so
could
what's
you
wrong
had
with him?
take up
money.
for OJ Simpson?
So what's wrong with him
Oh,
killing her?
man.
OJ
She
did
was
that
like
shit.
poor white trash over there. Now she got a fucking decent ass black man, and you trying to figure shit out. Like, come on, man. He was like, all right, I don't see him doing it, but if he had it done, that's a whole different story.
What's wrong with him
But
doing it though?
Philly, look, at the end of the day got to end. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what the whole purpose of it is.
Mm.
What?
You're weak when you believe in the days because that's why they call it 7 days is a week. And
Listen,
if you
man, I
believe in
told
that,
you
then it make
before.
your mind weak.
Exactly.
My
Hey,
I
Philly,
man,
I got
we
a question for you. Do you celebrate the 4th of July?
what's the point of celebrating that?
Because it's the 4th of
you
July.
don't know.
I don't celebrate that.
Think about how many years were we in slavery? How many years? It was about 400, right?
I don't celebrate it, nigga.
Then think about the 4th of July.
Told you that
400
already.
years of Jews' lies. You got to remember this, man.
You can
Jews
have
lie.
that.
Jews lie. I bet you didn't think about that, bro.
I don't even do Christmas
That
no more.
was deep, bro.
Why you don't do Christmas?
Like, because too many people doing it.
So we got to be the anomaly in the system then, right?
Too
By
many
being
people
serial
doing it.
killers.
Nah, man.
It's
Philly,
a
Come
whole
you
lot of people
know,
on,
brushing their
You
teeth.
bro.
You
better
gonna
put
stop doing
somebody in a
that?
bad situation, and he's right. He's right because you got some motherfuckers out there that are
but
dumb.
hey, Philly,
Philly, think about it. You think
do you know
Thanos was
what
wrong?
month? Now I'm gonna ask Philly, do he know what month black people outwork white people?
What you talking about?
What month of the year are there more black people working than white people?
That's a dumbass fucking.
It's April. It's April. It's April.
Why is that?
It's because April is White History Month.
And
Yep.
then you got
You didn't know that?
February, which is Black History Month, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So,
March
And
is for
that's
the Native Americans
so,
because that's when they march their ass
so,
up out their
what am I
promised
supposed
land.
to do about
And then
that?
you got White History Month in April.
What am I
so
supposed to do about that?
so Philly, when you celebrated your Black History Month, right? Did you
I
celebrate
didn't. I didn't
our good
celebrate that.
you didn't
Don't
celebrate
ever,
our good
don't
brother
ever
OJ
put me
Simpson?
over there, nigga. I don't go hard like that.
So you don't go hard for your people.
I go hard for the people, but I'm a Black American, nigga.
That's what I'm saying.
Never forget
OJ
that
Simpson
part.
was a Black American. What's wrong with that?
But I'm just supposed to be like, all right, since it's February, this is what Al Sharpton and them motherfuckers is gonna like. I gotta follow people, nigga.
Who said you gotta
No,
follow him? I just said, are we
nigga,
celebrating our
I
good
follow
brother
who the fuck I
OJ
feel
Simpson
like
who took
following.
out a white devil?
I follow more of myself before I follow other people.
Listen, our good brother OJ Simpson took out a white devil. That's what he did. Are we not happy about that?
Say that again.
Our good brother OJ Simpson, Mr. Orenthal James Simpson, took out a white devil. Are we not happy about that?
No, I don't look at that way
Why not?
because you couldn't prove it.
How can't we prove it? He did.
You couldn't prove that glove. You couldn't prove that
Listen, before
he
OJ
did
died,
it.
believe it or not, me and him had a real black man to black man conversation. And that brother told me he did it.
Man, but you
And I
still
believed him.
didn't prove it.
And I celebrated him. I went downstairs and I had a drink right after he
I'm not
told me. I was
saying you
happy. I was happy to
still
hear it.
didn't prove it.
Bro, listen. And you
Listen,
think I learned how to be a serial killer, nigga?
stop
I
listening.
learned from Mr. Orathon James Simpson. That's how I learned. I wasn't just out here killing niggas before that. But I seen
Man,
OJ Simpson and I got excited, nigga. I got happy. Something woke up inside of me to tell me
you are
to go kill these
still
people.
not listening. That you can't even prove that OJ did it.
How you gonna tell me he told me he did?
You can't prove that he did.
He told me he did.
Is OJ Black Philly? Like 100%
Yes,
African
sir.
American? Okay, well he did the shit. Point
Well, no,
proven.
He
no,
did.
no, 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 no. He's not. He's not African American. He's a Black American, and he didn't do it.
The nigga
That's how
walk
I look at
guilty.
it.
Look how he walk. He drag his feet when he walk.
I look at him as a Black American, not African American, nigga. He's a Black American,
What's the
Bro,
and he
difference?
didn't do it.
what's the difference?
Prove it.
I'm African American, Black American. What do you mean
Yeah,
prove it? He told me he did it. I told you he did. He told me he
prove
did
it.
it. I don't got it recorded,
A
nigga.
lot of things
He told me he
you
did it.
can't prove over there.
Hey, listen, I can't prove you did your wife in, but I know you did.
Man,
You don't believe your own brother?
Exactly.
I don't even
We supposed to be
believe
soul
yourself.
brothers. You don't believe this? You don't believe this serial killer life?
That's
You don't think
why
this is
don't
real?
let me get over there. I fuck around, be close, right?
Do you think
To
this serial killer lifestyle is some
what I
fucking a
got
game?
over there, I ain't getting married. We ain't doing that. This is why a lot of men not getting married now.
Philly, the serial killing shit, I die about this shit. I
Man,
stack
that's
them
your
bodies like
problem,
bricks.
not
You
mine.
understand?
You better stay your ass over there.
Why? Why not
I
just
ain't
help
got
me, bro?
time for you. What the fuck?
I need a driver, man. Come
You
drive for
could
me,
go
bro.
over there and stand like near a train and kill yourself.
Bro, why would I
No,
standing near a
bro.
train won't kill
But
me, bro? I just
I
feel
ain't gonna,
some good wind to help me think about
I
more
think
serial
that
killings, bro. That's what it helped me.
you're a walking dummy over there. Is what you are.
You think so?
I wouldn't
Yeah,
say that's a serial killer if
I
I
don't
was
think
you.
dummies get away with murder, bro. I think dummies
yeah,
get
they
caught.
do. You got walking dummies that get away with shit.
Name them.
You can't.
See? Because it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Anomaly in the system.
because it does happen. A
Prove it.
motherfucker will blow your brains out and forget about you and get away with it.
Prove that he's dumb.
Who the fuck do you think you
But
are?
see, Philly, what you
I think I'm
can't.
You're not
smart.
a boss.
OJ
You're not
I
a
am a
killed
boss,
boss.
nigga. Like,
OJ killed
listen,
Nicole
you
Simpson,
are
man.
not a fucking boss. A nigga could fucking get rid of you any chance he want to.
So when's he gonna do it?
If you put yourself out there.
I don't put
Put
myself out there
yourself
because I'm
out there
smart.
and find out. Get to
I do
walking
my
around
serial
and
killings in the
talking
dark.
shit and see what happened.
Bro, listen, I am the Chirac Batman, bro.
I
Ain't nobody gonna do nothing.
understand what's capable of happening to your dumbass.
Oh yeah, you think so?
Positively think
Yo,
so.
listen. I'm telling you right now, Philly. You don't know me, bro. I'm the apex predator, my nigga. There
Well,
is
you
no
can think
winning.
everything you want to think about. But when it comes to your life, you better slow the fuck down before something bad happen.
Oh, that's how I can do my serial killings, bro. I'm like Dexter, bro. Except I'm T, so I'm
Oh
Texter, bro.
man, what you
I'm
think?
Texter.
You think you like? The fuck is this? What's this? A movie, nigga? What you think this shit is a movie or something? Nigga, this is real life. You over there trying to figure shit out, but I'm telling you the truth. You want to fight and argue, you might get your head knocked off. I don't know. You got one life. You better figure that shit out.
Jay, what are your thoughts on the conversation?
I think the conversation is all over the daggone place, and I'm trying to figure out what the topic is because they
That's what I'm
sound
talking
crazy.
about. For real.
Well, today
I'm
we
trying to
talking
put niggas on
about
point, man. Listen,
Philly.
I
Hold on,
ain't
let me
with the
explain to her
little
I
this.
wish
arguing
y'all would
shit.
stop arguing about nothing because y'all really ain't arguing, talking about
For real.
nothing right now.
Jay,
You
we
right.
talking about abortions today. We saying how many abortions before a woman is considered a serial killer.
One of them
It's not
pills
about a
called
particular
birth
race.
control and a condom. When I went to high school, it was
Hold on,
about sex
Philly.
education.
Jay
They
trying to answer
passed
the
out
topic.
condoms.
All right, we know that. We saying when people don't use condoms. Jay
Motherfuckers
trying
was
to
dying from AIDS. What you think? AIDS went away, nigga?
Oh, Philly, we get it, bro. Dang, let Jay talk, bro. Let
You
Jay talk,
stick
bro.
your dick in something,
We get it. You was
you
leaving
are
high school.
yo
capable of getting
You was
sick.
yo
leaving high school
Philly,
and you saw Martin Luther
Philly,
King get shot, bro.
let
We
the
got it.
sister Philly, let the sister talk, man. Come on,
All right, forget about it. My bad.
Jay.
I don't know if there's a certain number of exterminations that a woman can have that will label her as a serial killer. To me, I feel like when you're using it as contraception, then you're wrong. But I also can't really talk too much about, I have a strong opinion about it, the abortion thing. I truly feel like women should have abortion. I don't think it should be abolished. I think it's necessary. I also feel like some people use it as a contraception, and that's just 100% wrong. It's ignorant, it's ghetto, but who am I to talk? Because I'm never going to change a ghetto, ignorant person's mind. So what's the point of me even speaking? That's how I feel about it.
Having
Jay,
a
would
baby,
you?
right? Like having a baby, it's like I'm with it. You with it. We don't need the courts for that. We don't need the courts to determine on how we conduct our life.
Philly, we're not talking about
This is
having
our
babies. We're
life.
talking about
If you gonna
killing
let the
babies
court
today.
system fuck it up for us, like the court system, you know what the court system is gonna do to the man, and don't give a fuck about it because you know you got the upper hand.
All right, well, let me respond back to that, Philly. Shouldn't be no reason why the courts have to get involved. If you do decide to have a kid, there should be no reason why a grown man and woman should need the court to come into play.
Exactly.
Because this adult man and woman should be able to take care of their responsibilities.
And
They should be able to work things out together.
I think
They
we should
should be
hold
level headed, which is
hands
the reason
and
why.
just
Hold
work
on,
it the fuck
hold
out.
on, hold on, which is the reason why I believe in abortion. Because a lot of adults cannot agree. And a lot of adults make wrong decisions based on having a good time. And when they realize that real life is happening and they realize who they had real life
Yeah.
with, now they realize that they made a bad decision. And I am one of them. So I'm
I
not
understand.
judging anybody. I'm
And
just
I'm
saying
not
that
saying like
you gotta be
having an
cautious
abortion is
of
like
who
the
you
good
have
thing to do.
kids with. You gotta
If
make
I
better
want my
decisions.
baby and I'm
And if
ready
you
for
make
it,
better decisions, then the court don't even have to be a part of your life. If you make
should
better
make
decisions.
stronger decisions being a man, right?
Say what?
Men don't make men don't make the right decisions because they got their dick out.
And women don't always make the right decisions either because they don't realize
Exactly.
how painful
It's both parts,
having kids can actually be. Both
women
people
and
need to
men.
be responsible for their bad decisions. And if both people would take responsibility for their bad decisions or for their neglectful decisions, again, the court wouldn't have to come into play because you took
Now we
responsibility
have nothing else to
for
talk about.
your decisions.
You said it. You set it off right there. You did it.
I have a plan to
That's the
get
kind of
rid
woman
of.
you need in your life.
Hold on, Philly. I want to tell y'all I got a plan that would get rid of the abortion problem. All right. This is if I was running the government. I would get rid of the abortion problem by getting rid of the having baby problem. Meaning, at a certain age, when you are able to have children, I would put something in the male or the female body that would prohibit them from being able to procreate. In order to procreate, you would have to be married, you would have to submit paperwork. It'd be like buying a car, getting approved for a home. You would have to make sure that you had the proper education and the proper finances. And then upon so, you would go to a federal doctor, as I would call it, and the instrument that is keeping y'all from procreating would then be taken out.
So a chastity
Kind of like
belt.
what
No,
They got
That
a
sounds
movie.
too
we had it
They
much
got
right
like
a
the first
Elon Musk
time.
trying to program our minds, and that will never work because
that will
nobody
work.
will allow, the United States would not allow any one
We had
person
it. We had it
to
right the
program
first
people's
time,
minds or
man.
bodies. It's never going to work
Right.
Why you
You
say it
fucked
wouldn't
it
work?
up. I don't
That
know
would
what he's
work.
talking about.
because everybody is not going to allow one
We
person
already talked about it.
to program their
Over.
minds and
We
or
lost
bodies.
that
That would never work.
battle, man.
But it's
I
not a
understand your
program of the
theory.
mind. It's just
It would
something that
never work.
stops you from procreating.
You
It's like birth
lost.
control. That's all it
because
is. It's
then
like
you
birth
have
control.
because then you have
You lost.
people who were raised by really shitty parents who never were guided correctly, were never taught about
What the
credit,
fuck
were never
you
taught
was
about how
talking
to
about?
maintain healthy
Philly. Hold
relationships.
on, I can't hear her.
You would
What you
have
say, Jay?
people, I'm saying you would have people who are raised by really shitty parents who never taught them how to be productive citizens and how to take care of things. But you would say, okay, well, because you don't have the qualifications, you don't have the schooling, you don't have the money because they weren't raised in that environment, you would cut them off from being a parent. But that person might do exactly the opposite of how they were raised. So
You
if
know,
you were to put guidelines on it, how, what your money and,
Getting man.
and things that you were talking about, that would really be making the child suffer who's now an adult based upon the shitty parent that they were raised with. And that would be unfair. So that would not work. It would never work.
no, Jay, it would work. It would be uncomfortable at first. It would be hurtful at first. But what would eventually happen
Shitty
is
parent.
only, hold on, Philly. What would eventually happen is the best of the best would procreate and populate this earth. And so eventually you would see crime go down, you would see scamming go down, you would have societies of productive people that should be procreating. Because here's the thing, I was listening to this conversation and they said, well, dating is a competition. I said, no, it's not, because when it comes to human beings, there's no clear goal, there's no clear trophy, no one can tell you where the finish line is at. But you know where there is real competition? The animal kingdom. Only the best of the best get to mate. If you are a weak man in the animal kingdom, you do not get to procreate and pass on your genes. And so,
But
yeah,
that
I
would
understand.
be subjective depending on the person who's evaluating every American. So one person's subjective opinion would be the end all a determination of who has
Fuck the
kids.
people that get
And you
over
could
you.
have somebody that comes from a very poor situation, a very neglectful situation, and the subjective mind would say this person is automatically withheld from appropriating, when whole time, because that person was subjected to poverty or neglect or whatever it was, that person will probably grow up, or just might grow up, to be exactly the opposite, because they know how it feels to be without good parents, to not have money, and they would do just the opposite, and they would make sure that their kids have everything. So, with one person being in control of everything, would be the downfall of society, because
But
then most people wouldn't appropriate.
do you
Man,
feel
you
that
The
same
reason why
way
the
about
get
people who can't
over.
afford homes? Do you feel that same way about people who can't afford homes,
Say it
Jay?
again.
That's all I'm saying. It's just guidelines, because we don't allow you to just get a home. People don't allow you to just get a car. Why are people allowed to just recklessly
And
have
here's my
children?
argument to this. Here's my argument to your
I
statement.
think you
The
forgot about
people who
yourself.
are approved for homes and
Is
car
what
loans
happened.
and all that, they have built up their credit. They have shown you that I am not a product of what my environment was. Me individually, I built up my credit. I built up a stable environment in order to apply for these loans. If you just looked at where I came from or what I have been exposed to and said, no, you would never know,
that this person actually has the ability to build up their credit,
What's the
to
point of
sustain a
arguing?
lovely environment.
Well, I'm not
So, like
looking
I
at
said,
where
it's
you come
subjective.
from, Jay. But see, I'm not. It won't be subjective because we won't be looking at, oh, you came from a single mom's household. No, you would simply first step would be you would get married. You and your wife would come down there. We would look at your finances. Do you
Say
have a
you and your
home?
wife.
What area do you what? Well, you and your husband, Jay. Or we would look at where you live at, your finances, what you accumulated. Can you afford a child? Do you have a parenting plan in place for this child? Is what we would look at. We wouldn't look back at, oh, well, you came from the ghetto. No, it would be the same way if you go to get
Hmm.
a house. They don't look and see, oh, you came from the ghetto. You can't get a mortgage. No, 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 no. I'm not talking about that.
Damn.
I hear you, but I just disagree because when I was a young parent and I had my first
And I
kid
was
at
a young
21 years old, I
thundercat.
didn't have
MSK, we
any of
coming to
those
you
things in
next.
place. And I didn't build finances until I got older, and I built finances. I didn't realize how to be a good strong mother until time went by, and I
Holy shit.
realized, and
That's
and I
a young
became a good strong
thundercat.
mother. So for somebody to say, hey, you have to have these things in place right now when it comes to parenting, when
What?
you say, hey, you have to have these things in place right now in order to be a parent, I think that that's absolutely wrong because we're not always equipped. We could come from the best families and the best households. It still doesn't make you equipped to take care of a person until you learn how to take care of a person. And because you don't mentally have the capacity at one age, doesn't mean that you still won't be a fine parent. So I respectfully disagree with you.
Okay, I understand.
With
So,
diabolical. So your invention, right? So is it like would it almost simulate a vasectomy?
um, yeah, it could, but it wouldn't be necessarily a vasectomy. This would
So
be advanced, more advanced technology.
I mean, I know that, but I'm just asking, like, what's the stoppage here? Like, are we stopping it at telling people like, yo, y'all can't have sex at all, or you just can't bust a nut?
No, no, you can have sex. You could. Well, I guess for the guys, I don't know what will come out, but I'm just saying. You
It'll
know,
just be clear. There
let
won't
me
be
be
any
honest.
semen.
Let me be honest. It'll be a bit unfair at first because it'll probably be concentrated more so on the women, right?
Mm,
However, I just don't think you should let people recklessly have babies anymore. I just don't think you should do it because, see, here's the thing: people will talk about how unfair to be to the people. I don't think anybody cares about children's rights. That's what I'm thinking about. People will bring up the kids being abused, the foster care system, adoption, being SA'd and everything, and I'm like, the only way you can stop it is people keep talking about abortion rights. No, I would just take away your right to have kids. Period. Other countries have done it. No, don't have no more
mm.
damn kids. We ain't got no room. When people talk about like China, you better not pop out another one. And I think that if we want to cut down on what human trafficking, it's crazy people talk about the Plan B pill, right? Well, no, and Pretty Kelly brought up a good point about Plan B pill earlier. Do you know that? Like, talk to your border control people. Do you know that when they find these people coming across the border, do you know that every little girl comes with a Plan B pill in her pocket? Why? Because it is almost guaranteed that she's going to be essayed on the trip to America. That is a fact.
That is sad.
Sad as hell.
You see what I'm saying? So to cut down on these things, kids not being taken care of, not being cared for, I'm sorry. I think a kid is way more important than a house, a car, and anything else you could buy in this world. But no, but for some reason, you can just have a kid with no background check, no psychological check, nothing. But you try to get a house, these people are combing through your asshole hairs to make sure you can get that house. You
I
go to
love
get a car,
asshole
you're like,
hairs.
nigga, I just want a little Nissan Sentra. You
Well,
mean
I'm
to
trying
tell
to
me
get
you
from
want
point A
my
to B.
soul? Yeah, come on now. But you mean to
Like,
tell
Well,
me
if
damn.
a
if
kid,
I
a
was to go
life?
to the extreme like you, if I was to go to the extreme, and I would say I would put, you know, limitations, or I would put a whole law against, how people can appropriate or whatever. I would go even further. And where you said you would probably start off with the women, I understand that because you're a man. As a woman, I would go even further and I would say, well, if I'm going to go to the extreme, I would cut off men. I would put a chip in a man who cannot get hard, have an erection, or
Hold on
ejaculate.
now, Miss J. Hold on, Miss J. We ain't doing that.
I know
what
I know you don't want to hear it, but I'm just saying, if I
No,
were to
speak
go to
freely.
the
Speak freely.
extreme,
You don't have to watch your mind or your thoughts in here. Speak freely.
thank you. I'm just saying, if I were to go to the extreme, then I would cut off the sexual aspect of a man's brain so that, you don't have to send a, what do they call, a migrant, an immigrant with a Plan B pill. You wouldn't have to, you know what I would actually do? You know what I would actually do? Everybody in every jail or any offender, any male sex offender who has ever committed a crime, a sex crime, then I would make sure that he died that way. He would die through consistent raping where his organs shut down. I would make sure that every man has something implanted in him where he cannot get an erection unless that woman said you're allowed to have an erection now. Boop, I hit the button and now you're allowed to have an erection. I would start with the male because the male is the one that's taking it. The male is the one that creates the child. The male is the one who determines what sex the child will be. The male is the one, in my opinion, who's the most egregious. That's where I would start. But I know y'all don't agree with me.
I wouldn't
I ain't
care
gonna
either
lie.
way, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. None of this affects my serial killing, so I wouldn't care.
What type of serial killer would you be if
I
you,
ain't even mad at you.
as a
I
as a
ain't mad
serial
at you.
killer, as a serial killer, what type of serial killer are you?
Well, I target men and women. It's just impulse.
So there's no rhyme or reason.
Nah, I just feel like it.
Okay. So if I was a serial killer, I remember my husband told me this a while ago. And I totally agree with him. He said if I was to be sent to death for a crime that I committed, or if I was like, let's say he had cancer or something like that, he knew he was going to die. He said he would go to every sex offender's house and blow them away. Blow everybody away that answered the damn door. He would go into every one of their houses and clear that motherfucker.
Oh, I agree.
Because even if you're not a serial killer, or excuse me, even if you're not a sex offender, he was talking about sex offenders. He said even if you're not a sex offender, the house that you live in, if you live with somebody, there's somebody in that house that condones your actions or that's taken up for you or that's hiding it for you. And I would kill that person and everybody in that damn household. And I said, you know what? Can't disagree, babe. Love
Yeah,
it. So at
I
least
agree.
he had a point of target. There's a reason to be a serial killer.
See, but
And I love that for him.
I specifically sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I lean more into the women a little bit because you see, T is short for Ted. My last name's Bundy. So I kind of just, however I feel that day. I see a woman walking. I say hello to her at the grocery store. She says hello back. She may have an attitude, may not. If she has an attitude, I kill her. If she doesn't have an attitude, I still kill her. I just felt like it.
Okay, well I think that
I have
I think that you should go on ahead and do what you
What
say that you want to do, brother. Let's see if you got the guts, because I
Oh,
don't
I've
believe
done it.
you.
I've already done it. This
what's up,
is, I mean, we're
Antonio?
about 30 in. I'm trying to hit 60 by the end of the summer. So, just pay attention to the news.
Doubt it. Don't believe you.
I
Yo,
have
what's up, Antonio? You had something to say?
I got a little less of an extreme because y'all motherfuckers crazy. But no, it's not about me being a serial killer. If I'll change it up. If I had a superpower, my superpower would be, and it'll only apply to the women. Hear me out. My superpower would be for the women to have a flash forward, and this will only occur right up, right before she's about to have sex, raw sex with a man. Right before you have this raw sex with this man, you have a flash forward of how your whole life is going to be with this man. If he's gonna be able to take care of your kids, if he's gonna run out on you, or if you're gonna be the one to run out on him. That'll be my superpower. And I think that will probably solve a whole lot of broken homes.
I love that superpower. I wish we had that.
So you would be a serial killer.
Where in my whole soliloquy did you get serial killer from me?
I mean, bro, your superpower would be to take the life, right?
No, it's no taking life. It's preventing unnecessary life and hardship. So it's not
By
really.
taking the other person's life, right?
Nah, no.
Wouldn't that isn't that preventatory?
It's a preventatory. Yeah, no life is
Okay.
being no life is being created nor taken. It's all a prevention. You know what I'm saying?
Uh, I feel like you should just take one of them, no?
T, let me ask you, T, let me ask you this. What is the most harmful thing you've ever done to yourself?
To myself?
Yes.
Mm, nothing. I love me. I love me more than anybody.
So you scary.
Scared of who?
You're scary. Not scared of anybody. You're just scary.
Oh,
You've never
no, not at
caused
all.
no harm to yourself. You're scared of pain. You're scared of harm, but you want to do it to everybody else. But you never
I,
caused
I,
no
stu-
harm
I
to
stubbed my
yourself.
I stubbed my toe once. That hurt pretty bad.
Yeah, you're a coward.
What you think?
I love that about you.
Hey,
Because most people who act like they crazy are actually just very cowardly, um, missing something and can't figure it out and don't really want to go figure out what it is either because you're so cowardly.
But wait, why can't he
do you
just be
think a
comfortable with who he is?
exactly? Do you think a
He's
coward
not
takes a life or
comfortable.
saves it?
He's not comfortable with who he is because he keeps trying to convince other people that he's a tough guy, which makes me feel like you're really the weakest link in the room
You said I was
because
tough.
you
But I don't
keep
think he said he
trying to
was tough.
convince people
I didn't say I
that
was tough.
well here's the thing. If anybody ever took a life, you would know how hard that is to deal with it. But he
It may be
keeps
hard for
talking
them. It wasn't
about
hard for me.
taking he keeps talking about taking lives, but you ain't never done no harm to yourself. Real people who are not scared of death, they get themselves close to it. Like they try. Because they don't like themselves. They try. It just didn't work. So they just did it to other people.
Yeah, I think you're
But you
speaking to a
said the
demographic
biggest
of people that aren't me.
harm you've had was to stub your toe. You ain't seen no harm. You ain't really felt no pain yet, but you want to inflict pain.
Yeah,
But
why
you
not?
too scared to inflict pain on yourself. That's cowardly.
Why would I inflict pain on me? Why would I damage
Because you're a coward.
good
That's why you
goods?
wouldn't. No. I'm agreeing with you. You would not inflict pain on yourself because you're a coward. But killers, they don't mind pain. If you knew what I knew, killers don't mind pain. They've suffered it a lot and they're no longer scared of it. And that's the reason why they feel like desensitized and they don't mind doing it to others because they're
Did they inflict that pain on
desensitized to it.
themselves?
No. They don't have to. I'm
Okay,
asking
so
you, what
you
pain did
asked me
you
if I
have?
inflict pain on myself. I said no. You didn't ask me if I've ever experienced pain. You just said, have I ever inflicted it on myself? The
Because
only time I've
because
ever
if
inflicted it on myself
because
was stubbing my toe.
with that question, you would know exactly where I was going with it.
Okay, I've been shot
If
three
you was
times,
really
man.
a, if you was really a killer,
I've been shot
you're
three
not
times,
really
man.
a killer.
I was
You
fine
just
with it.
you
I
just
got up
got a
the
big
next day,
mouth.
popped me a perk, and had my day.
Don't believe you. Just like I don't believe that you out here really thinking about. No, I think that you're really thinking about killing people because you're really a coward ass.
You
I
think
think
so?
that you really think that. but you don't know what it's like to really fear.
Yeah, because
You
fear is
don't
a
know what
choice.
that's like.
I don't choose fear. Danger
You're a
is
big
what's real.
talker, and I don't believe you.
Okay.
That was interesting. That was interesting. I think I just didn't hear T say some of those things, Jay. I didn't hear him say, yeah, some of those things. So I'm kind of confused a little bit.
I know killers. Like I know contractual killers. I know real killers. He don't come off as a killer to me. He sounds like a guy who wants attention. Because real killers don't talk about what they're going to do or what they think about doing because they don't want that attention brought back to them
Why wouldn't they?
because they real
My
killers
biggest
and
icon
they
was the
really
Joker. The Joker did that. He was a
actually
real killer.
do it. So somebody who actually does it, they don't talk about it. They stay away from talking about it because they don't want anybody to know that they actually doing it. That's why you're a joke to me and you're funny. Continue because you're funny, but you're a liar.
So you think this serial killer life is a joke? You think this all just one big laugh?
No, I
Like
don't
I'm
think
Kevin Hart.
the serial killer life is a joke. I think you are.
Oh, well, man. If you're gonna be offensive, I'm just gonna mute my mic. You have a great night.
No, don't mute your mic.
Yo, I couldn't hold it no
I'm
more, yo. I
enjoying.
couldn't hold it no more, bro. That voice,
I'm
I couldn't
enjoying
do
it.
it. I couldn't
You
fucking do it,
continue.
Kelly.
You can't
Nah,
be quiet. As
nah,
hard as you try, you cannot be
I've been
quiet.
trolling this whole
He's
time. I'm
just
sorry, man.
joking.
The
Obviously,
The Philly
obviously.
dude was drunk, and that's what made me want to do it because he was
Oh,
really
okay.
arguing with me like I was serious, and that shit. I had to
Yeah.
mute my mic because I was dying laughing. Like I'm like, this nigga think
I
I'm for real.
I had to
And
Yeah,
then
kick
he
I
him
was
talking
out.
laughing
about
at
shit
him
that
too.
he talking
Hey
about
T,
shit that
I
was
had to
so
put
off
his ass
topic.
out. I couldn't take no more. I had to
Yeah,
put
he
him
was.
Oh,
out.
you
Yeah,
did?
I
yeah,
thought
his
maybe he was
yeah.
off something. I don't know if it was drunk or pills or whatever. Like
Nah, he had
obviously
to
he
be
was off
drunk.
something.
He
But
we asked that man the same question we asked you when he came in, and he got to talking about getting married and getting divorced and this bitch taking everything and all. We like, bro, what the fuck is you talking about, bro?
yeah,
Like, he
I
was talking
noticed
about
that.
nothing that had to do with this. So I'm like, somebody clearly hurt you. So there from there, I was like, yeah, this is my time. This is my time to shine.
Okay.
So I
Okay,
started
now
talking
that
about
makes more sense. That
OJ
makes more
Simpson and
sense.
killing his wife. He
Okay.
was sick.
Oh shit. Hey, y'all wanna know
Mm.
what's funny? When I was talking about like um all the stuff to do to the women, right? The Arab dude came in here, heard me, shot me a follow, and then left the room. I guess he was like, I'll save his speech, his talking points for later.
Nah, he gonna bring that up for real. Watch. He gonna go
He
around his
shot you
friends
for
and be like,
what?
we should really invite Memphis.
He said,
You
brother,
said he
I
shot you
figured
for
it out.
what? Like I didn't get it.
Like he added me and then just like left the room when he heard me say what I said. When
Oh,
I
all
said
right.
if I when I said first we have to start off with the women, which we would have to because a lot of the technology for birth control is
Contraceptive.
geared
Yeah.
towards women. Except for I don't know how because he asked a good question. He's like vasectomies. I'm like, damn, that is a good because I'm like, how would that work with the younger guys? We don't have
That's
anything for
exactly what
like
I was, and
younger
I
man.
started really critically thinking about what you were talking about, and that's what made me think like, damn, okay, so the only thing I could think of as far as for men is just vasectomy. So I'm like, how would that like because technically when you get a vasectomy, you can still bust a nut. It just ain't no semen. So it's like, how would you eliminate that and then be able to bring it back?
Yeah. You right, and then and Jay, I gotta say, Miss J, appreciate you for being able to critically think because you are right. There is in my plan, I gotta admit, there is going to be some marginalization of certain groups of people. Can't get around that. So
Yeah, but I appreciate you also for just trying to figure out something, whereas other people are just like, oh well, I'll just live off the system, or I'll just, keep on getting these abortions, or I'll just, at least somebody's trying to think about how can we fix it. And, unless we're going to turn into a communist society, how do we really fix it? We can't be the United States of America and really fix it
Mm-hmm.
I
like
didn't
the way that
understand
you're
that. What
talking
is the communism? Because I had did my plan before on YouTube, and somebody's like, "Oh, you might be a communist, bro." I was like, "What?" I was like, "What is that?"
about.
You know what I
So
think about? I'm
go
so I'm
ahead.
sorry, Jay. Just real
No, no,
quick.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
How like something I thought about when I was thinking about the prompt is how many abortions can a woman even get? Like how many times can that actually happen? Can it just happen like unlimited amount of times, or is there a certain point when like they just start having
It's supposed to be
abortions?
a
I
limit,
mean,
but they can lie and go
miscarriages.
some other places. That's why. So
Shit.
I just
I
didn't know
it's
how that affects
supposed
the
to be a limit.
body. Like if that affects the body in a way where eventually it just can't even happen.
Yeah, like the onus has to be on the woman to say, okay, I've had enough, because you can go to different clinics and just like say, nope, because of HIPAA laws and because you can't talk about people's medical history,
Hmm.
you can go anywhere and get abortions in this place or that place or that place because they cannot ask you how many have you had. Oh, there is a cutoff for you.
Mm,
That the onus has to be on the woman to say, okay, well, if I ever want to have kids again, this might be destroying my body, so I gotta stop. But as long as you're lying about it, you can have plenty. You just go to different facilities and you won't get judged, or you go to the same facility, I would gather.
I'm not gonna lie. My cousin was working at a place that did abortions. She was working at Planned Parenthood, actually, I think it was. And there was this one particular white girl, and she was like, "Man, this is like this bitch's ninth time here since I worked here." So I really don't
Wow.
think there's a limit. Uh,
damn.
yeah,
Yeah, I've never heard of a limit, and I'm not, an abortion type of person, but
My bad, y'all. I looked it up, Jay, and oh, y'all, I looked it up. It said it is no limit. I thought I heard maybe the doctor was saying where they start to see complications is what I'm thinking about. Because I watched so many of those panels where they talk about it, and maybe I thought that was the limit, but they said it is no set limit. So
Yeah, I just
yeah,
genuinely
that's
wonder because I was
crazy.
like, after a certain amount of time, would this start to take an effect on the body where the woman's health is starting to become in question? But I mean, shit, hey, if it can happen that
I would
many
think
times,
so.
that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm like, yo, like at a certain point, does this start to affect her? Like,
I would think so,
I would
even
but
with
think
having a
so.
kid. No,
Like, because I've had three C-sections, and my doctor told me that after the third one, you might die. We're not going to do no more. After the third one, we're not going to do no more. And I gather that's because I can't really remember. It's been a while now. But I gather it's because it becomes a life or death situation. Why they say you can't have no more C sections after your third one. So I would gather even after. But you know what? There are different types of abortions too. Like, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, there's the abortion pill that you can have when the fetus is still so small that you can almost damn near like you can period it out.
yep,
And then
yep,
there's abortions where the baby is actually a baby, and then you have to suck it out at that point.
yep. But wait, did
So
you
I
have
would
the
then they
imagine.
got
conversation?
they got one where they actually stick a utensil in there, and they basically like snatching the
It's a
baby out
vacuum.
bit by
Yep.
bit.
Jay, did you have
Yeah.
wow.
complications?
I never had complications with my 3
So
C-sections.
that's
No,
bullshit.
thank God.
You should go see another doctor because that's not true. Most women that I know have more than three C sections.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. And let me tell you something. I was told. I was told
Hmm.
after a C section you can't have a natural birth, and I can tell you from personal experience that's not
Yeah.
true.
I have heard that
Girl,
too.
my first
Yeah.
Wow.
was a C section. My second was a natural birth child.
Wow. Good job for you.
Thank
Good
you,
job.
mamas.
Yeah, I mean, either one of them is hard because if they if they do a C-section, the healing is it takes months and it's hard because you got this open wound, and then even with natural birth, you could be in birth for hours, going through hours worth of pain. So either way, bringing a kid into this earth is a whole lot on your, no matter which way it comes through. But you know what? I'm 40. I made 40 this year. So I'm done with having kids. So I'm not even worried about it no more. But thank you for giving me that information for, I got girls. I got daughters. So I appreciate that.
For
What I
sure.
well
But
the
see,
way
see,
they
see how
told my
amazing,
well the way they told
see
my
how
wife was
amazing
that
Coochie is,
she
and
Coochie
uh
is
Diabolical trying to take it
amazing.
away, and Diabolical trying to
oh
take it away,
no
Trying to
no no no
steal our
no I ain't
shine.
doing that. But nah
trying to steal the Coochie, man.
but with my wife on her second C-section, she started hemorrhaging. So at the, I think too, like you and Kelly are right. I think your doctor goes off your body and how you're healing and stuff. And I think what the way the doctor explained it was, you can have a natural birth after a C-section, but it depends on if you're having kids back to back. If you waited, everybody heals differently. Sometimes you might have somebody get pregnant, like my wife got pregnant back to back. There is, and they have to warn you, there is a risk that you might experience some splitting and stuff, like just from things that might not have healed because you're having babies so fast back to back. So that, I think that's what it is, but you could definitely have it. I don't think we decided not to do it again after that last time. She was hemorrhaging. They was talking about doing transfusion and stuff. I think it's just some of these places, man, they cutting into your body. I just don't think they know what they're doing. If I was women, what I would fight for is these insurance companies that have to spend more money so that you can get what they call like a doula and stuff like that. Because just insurance to go to a hospital to me is just not enough. It's a new wave of new nurses in there. I remember it, man. It used to be them old women nurses in the hospitals. They could get a baby out like it wasn't shit, and it's just a much different experience. I just feel like women, that should be the thing on the list. Like that insurance need to put out more money to really get what it takes to bring a baby. Just like my partner, he paid the extra money because apparently they get you to squat and the baby just pop out. You know what I mean? So I think that's really what it is. I just think these hospitals don't know what the hell they're doing. Insurance companies need to really fork over some money to have better just birth labor care, because these doctors, they getting paid extra to give you C sections, and they're fucking up the body, your body.
This
People,
is
they're
a fact.
butchers.
This is a fact. And my sister and my mother told me that they had watched something years ago. That they basically what they got from it was the doctors get paid extra money when they do a C-section, and because it's a less time that they spend with you when you're giving birth, if they cut you open, if they give you a C-section. So they would much rather convince the mother that, oh, your body is like, I remember my first daughter, they told me that my pelvic bone would not open, it would not move. So this baby would not come out. They had to give me a C-section. And after my first daughter is when my mother and my sister told me that, hey, you know what? They get paid more money by cutting you open. And it's a lot faster to cut you open. So they decide to do that and they convince you that you're not able to give regular birth, to have regular birth. because that, like you said, they get paid more money for it. And healthcare is not, healthcare, it's a business, and they're trying to make as much money as they possibly can when it comes down to it. And most of us layman people, we don't know. We choose to put our faith in the doctors. So what my doctor says has to be right, right? We don't understand that the medical field is a business. And for the most part, although women, especially black women, from what I heard, I'm not a doctor, so I haven't experienced it myself, but from what I heard, a lot of black women, more black women die on a birthing table than any other race. So we choose to believe it. But it is a business and they are going to make their money off of it. But the body can do so many miraculous things, like Kelly was just saying. She had a C-section, then she had a natural birth. The body can do whatever it really wants to, and sometimes it doesn't. But the body can do so much. The body is self-healing. Organs are self-healing if we give it, if we nurture it correctly, and if we give it time to. The body will do miraculous things. But when we get intertwined with these doctors or whatever, we just might rely on them and divert otherwise. It's crazy. It's really sad.
Yeah,
And
I
this is the
remember my
reason
wife
why
was
I
in there.
want
It
my
was
daughters to be doctors. I'm telling my daughter, she's in nursing school right now, and my other daughter right behind her, I'm telling her to get into the dental industry, because you know what, the way they've been finessing us, you need to get into it so that they will no longer be able to finesse you, my nigga. Get
Nah,
into it.
that's 100. That's
Learn it.
100.
yeah, you're right. We got to be more of us in there, and even just with the research and everything, we have to be in there because our bodies are different from other people. And I remember me and my wife who was in there. It was late at night, and I remember, how they got that one doctor following the other doctor around or whatever. And I remember he said something. I don't know if I thought about it at the time that much, but he was like, "Oh, if your wife, pushed the baby out, this be the first live birth, I seen today or whatever." And then I thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me all these women having babies all day, not one pushed the baby out? Y'all just did all C sections all day, and
Yep.
that's how scary it is.
That's how prevalent it is, because they get more money doing the C-sections, and it's way less time. They would rather do that than wait for a baby to come out naturally. And
Hmm.
my husband told me not too long ago, because we have like 16, 17, 18-year olds now. And he said, our kids really don't know what they want to do. You know what? We're going to tell them what they're going to do. And if you keep on telling them what they're going to do, if you keep on pushing them, keep on telling them, keep on encouraging them, then you know what? When they don't know what they want to do. Now, this only applies when they don't know what they want to do. If you keep on telling them what they're going to do and encourage them, their mind all of a sudden shifts, and they're like, well, I'm just going to do this. And that legitimately worked in my household. My daughter didn't know what she wanted to do. We told her, hey, go to a HBCU, join a sorority, be a nurse, be a nurse, be a nurse. And she was like, I don't, okay. And then one day she was like, I'm gonna be a nurse. And then the next daughter that we have, she's like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna be a doctor. She had no idea what she wanted to do. She had no plans, no desires, no nothing. She's just being a teenager, just going through the motions. And now she's like, you know what? I want to be a psychiatrist. This is what I want to do. Whole time, her father has been pushing this idea in her head the whole time, but she doesn't realize. So now she feels like it's her idea. And every time I go to the dentist with my daughter, I'm like, you see how much money they done made? I be like, Jada, this doctor's visit, every time I go to the dentist with you, you got a new cavity in your mouth, or a new cavity is starting. You know how much money they just made? Let me tell you how much money I paid in insurance. But now I got a whole nother bill by the time we leave out of here. You know how much money they just made off of us? Girl, you need to be a dentist. And then the last time we went in to get her teeth checked for her cleaning, the dentist asked her, "So what do you want to do when you grow up?" She said, I think I want to be a dentist. We're implanting these ideas in our kids' head that are positive ideas. If you keep implanting them when they don't already know what they want to do, they're just going to follow you because they don't know nothing else. And hopefully they actually do it because, like, time will tell. But I'm really hoping that these kids are going to just be like, go shoot for the high horse. What you got to lose?
For sure, for sure. I don't know if you see T's PTR. I convinced him to become a Ghostbuster. So, what's up, Fire Red?
Exactly.
Yep. And I've been doing it my whole life.
I keep telling my son he'd be a scientist. He's so much in the youngest one. He's so much in the dinosaurs and animals, and apparently I can't kill snakes that are chasing me in the yard. Don't kill it.
Exactly.
I wish you could
He's
see the
built
bottom of
for
this
it,
hoodie,
man.
Diabolical.
He's built for it.
Mm,
What does it say?
Well, if you zoom in on the ghost, it's not really a ghost.
No, I know it's a KKK member, right?
Yeah, it says Clux Buster.
It says what?
It says Clux Buster.
Oh,
I'm
I'll show
sick.
you.
There you go. There you go. I didn't even see that until just now. There
Do,
you go.
do y'all ever
That's what's
think?
up.
Do y'all ever think about like the state of like mental health and how far it has come? Like, right? Like, think about the KKK, right? Like, these were grown men with bed sheets on their face. Like, it's like,
The instability that they had because of the hate that they had for black people, which in turn in 2025, now you're in the same state, in the same bed as black people. I've been watching these YouTube videos of these, white people saying, well, oh my God, I need my health insurance that's free from the government. And oh my God, I need this Section 8 housing that's free from the government. And it's so wild that y'all did everything that you could. You lynched us, you enslaved us, you killed us, you raped us in order to keep us down, to keep us slaves, to keep us doing what you wanted us to do. And then years, decades later, you are now in the same boat, and you had decades of privilege before us, but you're in the same boat as black people, Hispanic people, Asian people. All people struggle. All people need help at certain
we
times in their
all
life.
we all niggas now.
I've heard.
Exactly. Everybody is a nigga, quote unquote. A nigga supposed to be somebody who is like less than, right? And now you less than. And now you fighting for these government privileges. It's so
Do
it's
you
so
remember the
funny to me. It's funny.
Now I gonna say, do you remember when remember Trump said, okay, the Haitians was eating cats and dogs, whatever, right? So I remember people were panicking, and this just shows you how far that they've
Hold on.
fallen.
Trump said what now?
As
Trump said Haitian what now?
Trump had read somebody put out an article, a journalist, and I don't know what kind of journalist this was because they later came out and said that they made it all up. So a journalist puts out an article saying that the Haitians, because they moved the Haitians to Springfield, Ohio, um, you know, where they place them there, that have migrated over here, immigration, right? And so they're living there in these houses. So you got these. Now I don't know who moved a bunch of Haitians into like this like white neighborhood, right? But they didn't want them there, and so this journalist puts out an article saying, "Oh, the people's pets have been coming up missing. The Haitians been catching them, cooking them, and eating them." Right? Trump sees this article, reads it, and repeats it. At on for his speech or whatever, right? So I went and I researched it and looked at it, and you know, of course, it was some racial tension there. The white people didn't want him there, right? But during that time, it was a lot of things popping up, and somebody said that, like, oh my God, the Nazis are back, right? And I was like, what the fuck? I gotta see this. And I said they've fallen so far. I went to go look at the Nazis. And when I saw these little scrawny motherfuckers, they talking about terrorizing. I don't know what town they was terrorizing. I said it couldn't have been in my era. We would have kicked their ass. I mean, I
I
saw it. I
walk
was like,
clean through with this sweatsuit on.
yeah. I
Bruh,
was
they
like,
was on a bridge and the police came and was like, "We gonna escort you up out of here." Because as soon as a bunch of people started seeing them, they was like, they keep yelling because white people crazy. They'll be like, "Yeah, let's go," but they was like, y'all need to get up out of here before something bad happened," and they got escorted out. That,
They didn't get tough till the police got there.
that's it.
Hold on, let him finish because I was waiting to hear what the resolution was. Let him finish.
no, no, that was my point. I was like, they falling so bad. They not what you would think anymore. When they said Nazis are back, I went and looked them up. I was like, oh, we'll kick their ass easily. Like they like these little scrawny motherfuckers. Like they were just
Everybody
weirdly.
say Nazis and say like, "Oh, there's a swastika." You gotta do some history. Hitler adopted that swastika from the most recent time. It's backwards. It was an African symbol of peace, and even before that, it was a Hindu symbol of motherfucking faith. That is not.
Oh yeah, I gotta.
You just gotta keep going. But bruh, they didn't make that stupid ass symbol up. They just adapted it to a cause, and now everybody's like, oh, this is what it is. But they got it directly from Africa.
Oh, okay.
But the
I think
point
I heard
was,
somebody say that
In
before.
fact, all you gotta do is fact check it. All you gotta do is fact check it. So I'm like, oh, you the Nazis and SWAT. No, but Nazis, how could you ever trust a motherfucker who was half Jewish that was a fucking the Nazi leader is who I'm talking about, Hitler, who was half Jewish that wanted everybody to be blonde hair, blue eyes, but he was brown hair, brown eyes, and he was half Jewish.
yeah, the shit never made no
Like, come
sense to
on,
me.
man, that shit don't even make sense, bro.
Never made sense.
Oh yeah,
Never made sense.
I never understood that either when I found that out for the first time, and I was like, so what
Never
was
made
Like,
he
come
sense.
on,
angry
dog.
about?
But it goes to show how racism is all
But
in your damn mind and how you
But he
can.
didn't. He didn't want to kill black people though. He wanted to kill white people that he thought weren't the real. He wanted to kill white people.
I think that he would have got any black
Hitler wasn't
people.
even looking for black people. Hitler didn't genocide no black people. He genocide
No, he
white
didn't
people.
because he didn't get around to it.
Oh, he wasn't never gonna get around to it. Everywhere Hitler went, he killed whites. He ain't killed no whole bunch of black folks.
But there were no black folks around his hemisphere when he was
Okay,
killing people.
he wasn't
So
looking for them either though. So it's
yeah,
fine.
because they were not around him. I feel like everybody hates black people. In my opinion,
I feel like I love Hitler.
I feel like Hitler was one of those people who hated everybody
He no he
because he hated
that man
himself.
was a genius.
He
He
might
might
have
have been
he,
crazy.
he
He
might have
might have
been a
been
smart
crazy.
person. He might
He
have been an
might have been
equal
crazy.
person. right?
But
But he hated everybody, in my
no,
opinion,
he
because he
wanted to
hated
get
himself.
rid. He wanted to get rid of all the Jewish, all them fake ass Jews, because the real Jewish people, they black, they not white.
I can't trust anybody. It's like being around your friend, and your friend is like, oh yeah, well, I sabotaged this friend, and I told all this friend's secrets, right? And then I'm hanging around you, so I'm like, well, nigga, how do I know that you're not gonna backstab me then?
That see, look,
That's how
that's
Hitler was to me. Like, you can't trust him around nobody, because if you
that,
hate that passionately about anybody, you could hate me too. It's just a matter of time.
that's what
Somebody with that
you
much
can't have friends like that, because
exactly. You
I
can't
got
trust
friends,
Hitler.
that like we we just know what it is. We can just look at each other. It's things that we done that it's going to the grave. It, you know what I
When
mean?
you got somebody who is like you, but I got a white friend at work, and my
Yeah.
white friend at work come around me and be like, "Oh, Jamie, what do you think about this and what do you think about that?" And I'm like, she always be talking about race, and
So
she's white, and I feel like, girl,
no,
as a white
I
woman,
got a white partner. That's who I was mentioning. I got a white partner, and he'll be the first one to be like he always be joking. He'd be like, "Oh man," he says, every time I come around, he said the black people always looking at me funny. He be joking and shit, but he'll be the last motherfucker ever in life to snitch, bro. I jumped out my car with him in the passenger seat. My shit was rolling, and my car just was rolling. He had to stop it, bro, when the police came, and he just was like, "I don't even know who that was."
Chris, are you a
that
Hebrew
person
Israelite?
shows you that they was down. I'm
That's my
telling you
dog,
about a
bro. That
person.
we've been friends for almost 25 years, bro. That's my dog.
Oh, so that's a person that you know that can identify with you. I'm talking about a coworker out of nowhere. When Trump got in office, out of nowhere, her every opinion just changed, and every opinion is about black people or Hispanic people, and I'm like, girl, you're white. Like, how does it affect you? And that to me is very suspicious. That
Okay.
to me makes me feel like uneasy. I don't know where you
Okay.
come from. I don't know why you feel this passionately out of nowhere, because before Trump came in office, there was no comment about anything, about no race, no nothing. Then all of a sudden, everything is about race. You're always mad all the time. And I don't know. I it's basically because of Trump, but out of
I
nowhere,
feel
all this
that.
race comes into the factor. But as a white lady, you're not affected by none of it. Your kids are not affected by none of it. So I don't get it. And because I don't get it, I don't trust her.
I feel that.
Chris, are
So,
you a Hebrew Israelite?
huh?
Are you a Hebrew Israelite?
Yeah.
And you got white friends?
So I've been kicked out of a few camps because I don't subscribe to the hate. Uh, I don't subscribe to the hate. I believe that everybody has a chance to get in, and if they don't have a chance to get in, it's not on me to judge or give that judgment. So I can be friends with who the fuck I want in this life, especially the ones that be looking out for me. And I done got more love from people that they would say are the devil than I have from what is supposed to be my brothers, is what I'll say. So
That's interesting. But regardless of the white people who you think, I'm just going by your doctrine. But
no, it's not
besides the
that's not
white
my
people who are,
doctrine. I just read the
the
Bible.
doctor, the Bible, right?
I just
Because
read the Bible.
okay, that's fine. What they quote in the Bible and what they speak about, to a degree is kind of true based on the Bible. Like at the end of
Yeah,
the day,
kind of, but they also
we've
use.
never hold on, you didn't let me land. We've never seen, like, always you hear of black people fighting for white people's salvation and that they're gonna go to heaven too, or they're good people, or some of them are really kind. But we don't really hear that vice versa. Do you find that weird?
Um, Where in the Bible do it say anywhere that somebody is fighting for the salvation of white people but not black people?
No, no, no. I didn't
It
say it
don't say
said
that.
that in the Bible. I'm talking about based on the Hebrew Israelite doctrine. They're speaking on
That's
God saying,
I
"Hold on,
don't
hold on."
I don't follow that.
Well,
I don't.
The Bible says only He's only going to save His people, and His people's not considered them according to your doctrine. No.
No, according to how they read it, bruh, because if you a Christian, the Christians read the same Bible as Hebrew Israelites. And but they both have two different interpretations of it. Because they be like, oh well, no, this means this and this, and
Okay, so you don't subscribe
there's
to
a
the
hundred no
interpretation.
there's 100,000 verses in there that everybody can read and they then can make their own discernment
Okay,
of.
so that's what I'm
What
saying.
I
So you don't
do,
subscribe to their interpretation.
I no, I don't subscribe to none of that hate shit because I to me, my God, he don't want me to hate. I lived a whole life of hate, and the only thing I did was fuck my life up. I started going to jail from 10 years old to 25, bro. I spent years and years in jail, and all I did, everything was bad for me. And until I decided to like, like stop that and just no, no.
Oh, okay. So
It's I
you don't fully you're like, do you still consider yourself a Hebrew Israelite, being that you don't follow
no,
the doctrine?
I know who I am. I know who I am. But I don't believe that me being an Israelite gives me the advantage to look at another person in their face and judge them and say you're going to hell. That's reserved for the Most High. That's not for us. It's not for us. It is
Can
not for us to judge. It ain't never been for us to judge. So anybody who want to sit and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna judge you," especially not a motherfucker like me who lived a very very bad life. I'm definitely not be out here judging. Which most of the Israelites they be like, "Oh, they came from they converted out of gangs or they debriefed and they pretty much they went to PC." And it was like, oh, we changing our lives, and we this now, and we this, and then they be going real hard on like, hey, oh man, oh this white devil, and well, we can't wait till we can do this to the. No, I ain't got time for that. No, not at all.
So you disagree with the idea that
I
our
disagree
good
with the
brother
idea that no, I
Orenthal
wait, he didn't
disagree
James
with.
land. Let him
Simpson,
land.
you
Go
disagree
ahead.
with the idea that our good brother Orenthal James Simpson did us a disservice. You think that he did us a disservice by killing that white devil?
Are you talking about OJ?
Yes,
What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
I'm saying OJ killed the white woman, right?
And
So
what
do you think that that's a bad thing
and
or do you think
man,
that's a good thing?
if that's what we talking about, and
Yeah, both.
then it would be and man, uh, bro.
So do
It's
you
not
feel
on
like
me.
that
I don't
benefited?
care what he did. That's the thing. I don't care if he killed him. That's on him, bro. But what I would say is, do you think that I'll say this. Okay, so look, let's just assume, uh, let's just assume that he did it. Everybody knew he did it. He killed both of them. He brutally murdered and stabbed these motherfuckers to death. Damn near cut the bitch head off. Right?
Hmm.
That he
Yes.
did that. Now, the better question would be, are you in support of that?
Yes.
Because I'm not in support of murder, bro, for anyone.
Oh well, I am.
Well, I'm not. That's why I left the camps that I was in because I'm not in support of that, bro. I'm not finna kill nobody just because they white. The same way I'm not finna kill. That would be like saying, bro, what if I wanted to kill you?
I mean, I'm sure you got a good reason.
Oh, so you'll just bow down and die?
Yeah.
Well, then you dumb. I'm sorry.
If it made you happy, I'd do it.
No, well, then you dumb.
Oh,
But thank you. But thank you. You dumb. But thank you.
How do you know I don't just care about you being happy, Chris? Pause.
Well, hey, no, I ain't got time for that. You dumb, but thank
He
you.
don't got time for him
Uh,
being happy.
no, I don't
That's
got time
crazy.
for that. I ain't got time for that. Uh,
So you thinking that murder for
I
satisfaction
don't
is
believe
wrong?
in preaching hatred, furthering hatred, or any of that. Especially because I'm also mixed race, so I don't do
Mm.
that, bro.
Oh,
So it
Oh
now
makes
yeah,
we
but no,
sense.
but hey, but that's the other thing I learned from the Israelite community is that I am what my father is. But I've ran across a bunch of motherfuckers that just as soon as I said I was mixed race, just like a couple of y'all was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh
Half double.
yeah, yeah. So I run across y'all all the time. That was the second thing that pulled me away from going to camps and following the Israelite doctrine because half of y'all motherfuckers that be in there really are just race haters. You don't even like us light skinned motherfuckers at all. At all.
What do you
And
mean? I love Kelly.
I was like, oh, like how do you sit in there every Saturday for 10 hours and you but you just like oh no it's we gonna give it to the most high, we gonna give it to the most high, bro. Y'all full of shit because you see a light skinned motherfucker come in and y'all get angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but except for according to your doctrine, you are your father's seed. That's where the bloodline goes. My daddy black, nigga.
Yeah.
So according to your elders, I am him.
But your
But
father
ain't no
chose to
but no
breed
ain't
with the
no
devil.
buts. There are no buts.
Hmm.
There
there's a
are no
but.
buts. I am him.
There's a but.
No, there ain't. That's how I know you not in no camp. You
You got
not in
that
no
devil
camp.
blood running through your veins.
Yeah, yeah, you not in no camp. Like I said, you not in a camp for sure.
You're right. I'm not in the camp. I'm in the house.
Yeah, you not in the camp, and you definitely not an Israelite.
Can I ask a stupid question? What is an Israelite and what is your doctrine? Like what is your belief? How does that start?
I don't know. I would suggest that you Google IUIC. Maybe try to email the bishop. Maybe try to get a contact with a couple elders. Maybe WFI and try to get in contact with a couple of their elders.
Why would
And
you suggest she does that if you don't even follow the doctrine?
I don't know any.
because I did for a while, but just because the niggas like the one who was just talking is why I stopped. I ain't got time. I'm
Wait, how
not
you
doing
know
that
he's in it?
because at first he said, "Oh, yeah, I was this." No, I don't. As soon as I ran into, so as soon as I told my, oh, well, I mean, when I see people in public, they can obviously tell that I'm light skinned, but I'm not little and I'm not soft, so they don't really be saying shit. I mean, people on Clubhouse say shit, but I went to a camp or two, and like I went like trying to further my education into something that I actually believed in, and then I found out that all they did was preach
What's
like
up with it?
white cult hate. They a cult.
Baby,
Pretty Kelly, what's up? What's up,
what's
black
up?
girl, white girl hair?
What's up? I'm in the ICUP.
Chilling,
That's
chilling.
the camp I'm with.
Is you
But
here?
I
Hebrew
was in
Israelites?
Yes.
I was in
Right.
IUIC
Why are you in that
Denver.
camp?
What'd you say?
You were in Denver.
Why are you in that camp?
I
ICUP?
was in
Because it's
that's
the
the
best.
I was
That's a stupid camp to be a part of.
Okay.
Why is it stupid?
Yeah, the Hebrew Israelites. That don't make no sense.
I was in
What's wrong with it?
IUIC in Denver, but I wised up because like I said, even I'm pretty sure even who was that Kelly just said, I think you said a ooh too when I was like, yeah, my daddy black, my mama white.
Yeah. Half double.
Yeah, that don't make no sense.
Yeah, but that's crazy because your elders will be some of the first ones to tell you like your genes is who your father is. And if I wanted to, I
It's
could
not
walk
how that
right into your
works.
camp.
Yep.
I could walk right into your camp.
You could. I don't even know my father.
But I ain't talking to you, nigga. Uh,
Why am I a nigga? How you know I'm a nigga? I'm actually
That's not
Puerto Rican.
how it works, though, Chris. Your genes are
It's
not who your father is. That's
that's
stupid.
is
Don't know
that
what
what
my
you're
It's
father
saying?
is.
Is that
unscientific.
that your genealogy doesn't pass down through the father? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's really
No, I'm a cyborg,
Okay,
bro.
so I see you, P. Kelly. Are you saying is that what
Yes,
you saying too?
I'm in the
That
ICU period. That's
your
my camp.
genealogy doesn't pass down through the father? Is that what you saying?
I
Is that
I didn't
your
say that. I
opinion
didn't
too?
say that.
no, it
No, I'm
doesn't.
No, I
asking.
said that.
I'm asking because these niggas is ignorant. I just want to know if is that what you think too?
I'm not ignorant.
Because
You're so
if
science. That's
you
not how
in
it
a
works.
camp or if you're indoctrinated, then you should know
It's
like
through the
what
father.
I'm
Yeah, no,
saying.
that's what they taught
It's
me.
not through the father. That's unscientific.
Right.
It's
It's
not how that
So
biblical.
works.
It's okay.
So how do you just
yeah,
Not
okay.
biblical.
assume?
So
The
Kelly,
family
I actually
line
fuck with
passes
you, and
down to
if I
the
said
father.
anything
Your
disrespectful to you,
genes
I
don't pass down to
apologize
the
because I
father.
didn't
That's
mean
the only
it.
difference.
You know what I mean?
They don't
And
know the difference between the
I'm
two.
arguing with these weird niggas.
Okay,
Okay,
No,
you
you
just
know,
so
assumed that I had a father. I'm AI,
the
bro.
family line passes down through the father, but your genes don't pass down through the father. You're stupid. You don't know the difference between the two. Your father left the
right, you more light skinned than me.
your
Bro, you ever heard
father
of
left
Chat
the
GPT?
inheritance.
I'm the T, bro. I'm AI, bro. I don't have a father, bro.
No, he's talking about me, bro. T. So, anyways,
Oh, I
right?
thought you were talking about me. My fault.
So when it comes down to me, right? Okay, your father leaves an
You
inheritance.
the same color as your headphone wires.
Okay, great, right? So when it comes down to it, your father leaves you with his lineage. When it comes down to his birthright and all the other stuff, that has nothing to do with your genes, though. Your genes are
Right.
totally different.
You right, because I get my jeans from the stove. All right. I get Levi's and all that. My father passed. I am who my father was, bro.
So
And
you
if you
kept
don't believe that, I don't
Christ.
care. Look, I don't know who you are or what you believe, and I don't give a fuck who you are or what you believe. This what I believe, bro. I am who my father was. Period. And
That's not how
everybody that I
that's
fuck with
true, though.
believe
You
the
are
same
also who your
thing, bro.
mother is. You have 23
Everybody that I
chromosomes that come
fuck
from
with
your mother.
believe the same thing.
You're your mother's son, bro.
I
Fine.
couldn't be my father if I don't have one, bro.
I'm my
No,
mother and
everybody
my
has a
father's
father.
son.
Sounds stupid.
No, I'm my mother and my father's son,
Exactly.
but
There's 23 chromosomes
but
from
my
your mother's
blood
blood
look, when
that
it
make
comes to
23
bloodline,
chromosomes that make a human being.
when it comes to bloodline, it's my father's
No, it's
bloodline.
not. You fucking idiot. How
All
you gonna
right,
admit to being your mother's blood, but then also
all
say
right,
it comes the blood is your mother's blood, bro?
okay,
You
you
niggas are
got it,
idiots.
So you think you're walking around with the 0% devil instead of 50?
you
Yeah,
got it,
answer that.
you got. I just said you got it.
So you're 0% your mother and you're 100% your father. So your father made you and birthed you himself. No, that's not how that works, bro. It's not even how biology works. You fucking idiot.
Ain't nobody talking about biology. We talking about
You have
religion.
23
That
chromosomes
we were
your
talking
mother.
about
You have
religion.
23 chromosomes your father.
We
Who
were
said that I was
talking about
religious?
religion.
Yeah, well, your father determines the sex of the baby. That's it.
We were talking about religion.
Who
Fuck
said that
religion.
I was
I'm talking about
religious?
facts here to you. Fuck religion.
Bloodline is determined by the lineage of the father.
That's not how bloodline
That's where
determines.
bloodline is determined, bro. Period.
That's genealogy. Genealogy is different from bloodline. You fucking idiot.
All right. You got it.
I know I got it. You niggas are retarded. I know I got it.
I know I got it.
I know for a fact I got it. And I don't mean to be mean to you, by the way, Chris. So my apologies,
You
brother.
couldn't be mean to me.
Yeah, I
You
don't mean to
make
be
me think about all the times where I wish I could doss your ass and find out where you was at and I'll
Bro,
beat the
I have
shit
my
out of
real
you.
picture. Do you want my Instagram? You want my name?
No, I don't flirt with niggas, bro. I like
I'm in
bras.
Baltimore. You wanted to
I
dox me?
like
I'm in
hoes,
Baltimore.
dog. I like hoes. I don't fuck with you.
I'm in
But I
Baltimore, bro.
know you
Like,
an idiot. It
that's
just
cool. You
sometimes
wanted to dox me?
it irks
Yeah,
me
bro.
because I can't get it through to you of what I'm trying to
Bro,
say, especially
hold
the
on,
fact
Chris.
that I'm telling you the truth. I'm
Hold on,
telling you
Chris.
the fucking truth and
Hold
you
on, Chris.
just can't
Hold on,
understand it,
Chris.
Brendan. It gets it. it fucks with me a little
Chris,
bit. But
let's
you
go
know
ahead
what?
and start a discussion,
Like I
right?
said before,
Let's go back to you trying to be
I got
cutthroat.
out of that.
I will tell you where I'm
And
at right
it's not
now,
my
bro.
fucking job, bro. I
I will
got
tell
out of
you
it,
where
and
I'm
it's not my
located. You
job
can
to
tell me.
save you or protect you. So I know where you're going. I know what's gonna happen to you. It's
I'm in
not my
Baltimore,
job to
Maryland,
save
right?
or protect you no more.
I'm in Baltimore, Maryland,
You
right?
ain't even got to worry about it. I don't care where you at, dog.
You said you wanted to dox me.
I'm. It's not my job to save or protect you no
Bro,
more.
I'm
I
already
said that
doxed
yes.
now.
Sometimes I get a little irritated because that shit. Yeah, that
To
should be
find me a second
when you
when I
just
go
run
my
your
fight no
fucking
more.
mouth. When you just run your fucking mouth
No,
like
no, no, but I want you to find me though. 'Cause that's
why?
what you want
Why?
to.
I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for
No,
that, bro.
I'll tell
I
you
be
where I'm
too
at.
busy. I be
Well,
too busy. You know what I'm doing
listen, bro.
tomorrow? You know what I'm doing tomorrow? I'm
Now you
going
don't want to
indoor
dox
rock climbing from 10 to 2,
me.
and from 2 to
I got my
7,
real.
I'm going snowboarding, bro. Ain't nobody worry about you. What you doing? You probably sitting on your fat ass, nigga. I be outside for real. If you ever ran up on me, I'll beat the brakes off you. I really be doing shit. Don't play.
I want
I'm
you
a
to
serial killer,
you,
bro. You
I
can't beat
really
me,
be
bro.
doing shit. I really be
you
doing
said you
shit,
were gonna run
nigga.
up
And
on me
I ain't
though.
just gym. I
And I
ain't
was
just
going to
gym
like
big, bro. I'm body strong. I'm body
now all of
strong.
a sudden he wasn't gonna run up on him, but you said you want to find me.
I'm body strong. I'll beat the shit
Pretty
out
Kelly.
you.
These are
Don't
niggas that you
play.
listen
Don't play. Don't. Hey, look, you
to.
right.
This your big homie.
Matter of fact, you know what? And I apologize. You right. I
This
shouldn't
big
even.
homie. Didn't
My
he say
bad
he
for
wanted to
being
dox me a
disrespectful.
second ago, Kelly?
I
What do you
said
see? Got my real
sometimes I
name,
wish I
bro.
could.
I put my
Is
real
what I
shit
said.
in right
Don't put words in my mouth,
now. Now he
dog.
wants me to run up on him.
Don't put words in my
I
mouth, dog.
told him where I was at though. Like what the fuck? Now I
Don't
have to
put
go
words
find
in
him.
my mouth, dog.
He was supposed to come find me. Crazy.
Why
This is
would I confront you? I don't want to ever see you in life because I don't
I
want to
think
hurt
the
you, bro.
yeah, just pretty Kelly. Didn't
How you know
Chris
you're gonna hurt him?
my ass, man?
I don't want to
Oh
hurt you,
my gosh,
bro.
this
I don't want to ever
nigga,
see you in. I
you're
don't want to hurt you.
lost.
How do you know
You're
you're gonna hurt him?
lost. You're
I
lost.
don't want to
I want
hurt
to get
you.
please, but I want you to be in
I don't
person.
want to hurt you.
I told you
In
everything about
person,
me
like
just
I
now
said,
almost.
the-
Oh my gosh. Now let me ask you a
I
question,
be
Chris. What
outside. I
for
be
what do you
outside for real.
okay, okay, Chris. Okay, Chris.
I really be
So what
outside, bro. Y'all,
I
yeah,
get it.
I'm
Everybody go
laughing
out.
because it's funny.
Okay.
Because I be outside.
Everybody goes
I'm
outside.
not
We good.
arguing with you no more, bro. I'm done.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm
That's
asking you a
it.
question.
I'm done.
Chris,
Okay,
Chris, shut
listen.
up. Stop talking
I'm
so much.
done laughing. It's not
Shut
even
up.
funny no more. I'm done. You
Shut
got it.
up.
I'm
I
done.
mean question. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Right. So Chris, what are you angry at me for? What do you want to fight me for?
All right, Diabolical, you there?
Hold up, pretty Kelly. Chris, what the fuck do you want to fight me for again? What is your reason? He says he's really. Chris told us that he's really outside because everybody goes outside every
He
day.
also said he's
That don't make
done.
no sense.
Let's let it go. Move on.
No. He asked me where I was. Then he wanted to tell me where that he was gonna whip my ass, and then he went on mute and rage quit.
He also said he's
I don't like when
done. He
he try
doesn't
to
want to
pretend to be.
argue. Let's move on, y'all.
He pretended to be tough for a second. I wanted him to
Yes,
follow through
let's
his
move
threat.
on.
Right. Pretty Kelly, these type of suck ass niggas you allowed into your space.
We're not gonna
Tell them to
argue
make his threats real.
with
Hey,
people
Jay, I'm not
on
talking to you.
social
I'm
apps.
not
Like,
sticking my
what's the
dick in you
point?
right now, so
Let's move on.
I don't pay you no mind, right? So when it comes down to it, though, right, Chris, you were supposed to be a real nigga and live up to your threats. As soon as you saw me willing to give up my information, you changed your story up, bro. Stop pretending to be tough on the internet, because we're all outside. So I'm gonna go ahead and end there, pretty Kelly, because this nigga Chris is a bitch.
Okay, I'm not outside. I'm in the camp, and T's in the
Yeah, I'm not
house,
outside either.
and
I'm in the house,
yeah.
clubhouse.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
die for
Well,
this
I'm
clubhouse shit.
outside. We're all outside. We go to work.
I'm in
We
clubhouse,
all
bro.
go to
I don't
work.
know about
We all
outside.
go
Yeah, we're
outside.
talking about Clubhouse. Let's move on.
We all go out. No, he wanted my information badly. And then he realized that I have my real shit up.
It's okay. It's over. What are your thoughts on the title, V?
So, my thoughts on the title are too many terminations. So I want to terminate Chris's mindset because I
Oh
really believe that
gosh.
he's a weenie. He's not no serial killer. He wants to be one though, but he's afraid of consequences. He's afraid of
I think
niggas
Chris
toughness.
is a serial killer.
Yeah,
You know,
no, Chris. He talks too much to be a serial killer. No, he's
nah,
not.
nah, 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 nah. Look at Dexter.
No, he talks too much, bro. Look how quickly he folded. He likes easy targets, if anything. Chris is more of a weenie. He'll go after children. He wouldn't go after adults.
Nah, I
Oh
know
my
he's killed a
goodness.
couple grown men, bro.
Oh man, yes.
I seen him do it, bro.
You didn't see him
I
do
got
nothing.
eyewitness
The fact
accounts.
that you admitted that, you're a snitch, basically.
So what? I'm not in the streets. I'm not a gangster.
It doesn't matter. A
I'll
snitch
tell
is a
on you.
snitch. A lot of snitches are in the streets. What the fuck? You're a tattletale.
That's not a snitch. That's being a civilian. I'll tell on
There
you.
are lots
So
of
what?
snitches, but bro, you're weird. You snitched on your friend.
Who said that Chris was my friend?
Bro, it doesn't really matter to me. I have family that works in law enforcement, so it doesn't really matter to me, right? The fact is, though, nigga,
Capo.
you're still considered a snitch, bro,
Okay,
because
well,
you would
I'm happy.
cooperate with law enforcement,
Yeah, I would. I absolutely would.
100%. So you're a snitch, no issue.
That's okay.
He's proud. Chapo, long time no speak. How you been?
Yeah, the T that means you know what that means to me, though, right? Outside of you being a snitch, this means that you're a bitch. Nothing wrong with it, though. You gotta realize law enforcement, it takes them minutes to respond, sometimes 20, 30 minutes, right? So you would already get bodied and dumped into the back of a fucking trunk before the police ever responded. In America, police don't respond. So you can be a snitch all you want to, right? But when it comes down to dealing with certain people, nigga, you gotta realize, nigga, you gotta make sure you're in the right jurisdiction before you go talking about other niggas' businesses. Just remember that.
What's
It's not
that?
me, by the way. I'm not. I'm not the guy. I'm not gonna do nothing to you. But somebody out there will do something to you.
Wood.
It's not gonna be me, bro. Bro, undercover
I know you
agents
wouldn't.
get shot all the time and killed all the time with stuff in the back of cars. These are police officers that are working undercover. They get stuffed in the back of vehicles. You think you're exempt just because you would call
Yeah,
the police? It doesn't work that way,
yeah.
bro.
I think so.
Right,
Because I'm better than the police.
right.
Wake it up. Chapo, what are your thoughts on the title? Okay. V, what's your thoughts on the title? You never said.
Uh, I've been low key poking the brain of everybody in the room already. Just fucking around with them.
Do you think women who have a bunch of abortions are serial killers?
100%.
Agreed.
No, he got to watch out. They just got to watch out for the feds, and as long as they do it on the low, they'll be good. Cause you know that shit happens every day.
Yeah, okay, brother, man. None of you niggas are slick enough. I've already tested you. You said that out loud, and then T done already told on you. So you
See?
guys are
I
already
didn't.
you guys better
You got
become
it,
you guys
bruh.
better make sure
Hey, you got
you
it,
better
bruh.
remain
Look,
good citizens, bro.
I'm always gonna be a good citizen where
Who
I
said I was a
stay
Remain
bad
good
out
citizen?
here on the
citizens.
West Coast. I'm gonna be out here on the West Coast chilling, bro. Don't even worry about it.
I'm from
Good
LA,
citizens
nigga.
call the police, do they not?
You
I'm from
definitely
LA,
not
nigga.
from
What you talking
LA,
about?
nigga. You definitely not from LA.
How does
I'm
Good
that
from
work?
LA,
citizens
Like,
not
nigga.
call the police.
can you tell me how that works? Because, like, I can't imagine being mad at somebody on the app and then being like, yeah,
Nigga, I'm
let's meet
from LA,
up.
Yeah,
bro.
no,
And then,
it's
like, getting in the car. Hold, hear me out. Getting in the car,
look,
buckling my seatbelt, staying mad, putting on the GPS, staying mad,
seatbelt saying, man.
driving, still mad. I can't see me doing that.
Kelly, you gotta understand that sometimes, like, look, if this nigga really in LA and if niggas is too close to one another, shit, things
Chris, I'm
bad
from
things can
LA,
happen.
born
If
and
you
raised,
in
nigga.
LA,
I went to
bro, okay,
University High
okay,
School, nigga,
bro,
right there in Santa
look,
Monica, nigga. I
okay,
went to
oh,
University High
Santa,
School, nigga.
yeah, you
I went
said
to
Santa
Culver City.
Monica. You not from LA.
I
You from
went to
Santa
I
Culver.
Monica.
said I went to, are you stupid?
Nah, no.
Look,
If you went to Santa Monica, you not from LA, nigga. You from the fucking
right,
valley, bitch. You from the
Whoa.
valley, nigga.
right,
The fuck out of
right.
here.
He's a
Nigga,
There's
my
valley
no
boy.
people
valley
in
in Santa
bruh, all
Monica, you
my whole
fucking
family
idiot.
from Niggers and Gardens, nigga.
Oh, so V
My
from
whole
V from
family
What?
from the
Valley.
gardens, nigga.
Oh, so you know
So
my
what you
nigga Rat
saying?
Dog over there? You know
My whole
Top Dog
family,
them?
nigga,
You know my niggas?
hey, big Buck and Big No Good. Yeah,
Yeah.
nigga. My
You know
whole
my nigga
family from Niggers
Bogart
and
from there?
Gardens, nigga. So all
You
you
know my
gotta
nigga
do is say
Bogart from
something.
there from the garden.
All you gotta do is
Right.
say something. Cause
Shut
I'm gonna
up,
be and
nigga.
look, and I'm going to pick my kids up next week. So I'll be
You
out
see how
there.
this nigga
And
told on all of his homies just
You
now?
playing.
He's a
So it's
snitch.
V
You
for
playing.
Valley.
You playing.
Ah,
This
You
nigga's
playing. I'm
no,
gonna
no,
be
no.
out
Santa
there
Monica's
next
not no
week.
valley. This nigga don't know what he's
The
talking about.
you
nah, it's
from
V for
Santa
Valley, bro.
Monica.
Santa
And you're
Monica's
V
not
for
no valley.
vagina. You're pussy.
You from
Shut up.
Santa
You're
Monica,
from the
bro.
valley.
You are well,
You're
you
sweet.
from the beach.
You sugar sweet honeycup ass nigga.
All you gotta do is pull up. I'll be in Watts. I'll be in Watts. All you gotta do is slide to the
Oh
east.
no. I went to Culver City. I drove to Compton
He down the
once.
street from this nigga
Cause
Chris.
I'll bet you this.
Mm,
Santa Monica don't slide to Watts. And you ain't even affiliated like that.
So you're a non-affiliate.
Risque behavior.